What happened on January 6, 1992, that made Joyce Dahmer suddenly stop cooperating with prosecutors? I'm RJ Sykes, and welcome back to Part 3 of our latest investigation into the Steven Hicks case. Today, we're revealing a document that's never been seen publicly before. A letter that raises more questions than it answers about what really happened in 1978. If you haven't watched Parts 1 and 2 yet, I'll link them in the description. But trust me, you're going to want to see what we've uncovered today. This is a letter dated January 16, 1992. It's from Lynn C. Slaby, the prosecuting attorney of Summit County, Ohio, addressed to Richard C. Waters, Joyce Flint's attorney in California. Joyce Flint. You might know her better as Joyce Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer's mother. And this letter reveals something shocking. Up until January 6, 1992, Joyce's cooperation with prosecutors had been, quote, excellent. She was helping them piece together the timeline of events. She was corroborating information. She was, by all accounts, actively participating in the investigation. But then something changed. On January 6th, her attorney advised her to stop talking, to refuse the scheduled interview with prosecutors. And just like that, the cooperation ended. The prosecutor even requested written confirmation of this advice, which was then added to Joyce's file. This wasn't a casual decision. This was a legal strategy shift that happened overnight. So the question is, why? To understand why Joyce's attorney might have pulled her back, we need to revisit Jeffrey Dahmer's story about Steven Hicks, the alleged first victim. Dahmer gave prosecutors two different timelines for when Hicks died. Timeline 1, June 1978, right after his parents' separation. Timeline 2, fall 1978, when he was at Ohio State University. Here's the problem. Both of these timelines are impossible. If Steven Hicks died in June 1978, Joyce was still living at the family property with both her sons. Dahmer claimed he was alone at home when he picked up Hicks and killed him. But if Joyce was there, that story falls apart completely. And if the murder happened in the fall of 1978, Dahmer was at Ohio State, miles away from the family home in Bath Township. Neither version adds up. So here's where it gets interesting. Was Joyce's attorney advising her to stop cooperating because continuing would risk self-implication? If prosecutors pushed too hard on the June 1978 timeline, Joyce could have been accused of complicity, cover-up, or worse. Her presence at the home during that time would have made her a material witness, or potentially an accessory. But wait, there's another layer to this story that most people don't know about. In 1992, a $10 million civil wrongful death lawsuit was filed against the Dahmer family. And here's the kicker. It suggests vehicular homicide, not murder. Let me repeat that. Vehicular homicide. This wrongful death and civil negligence suit was filed by Martha Hicks, mother of Steven Hicks. The suit alleged multiple counts of civil wrongdoing, including wrongful death, negligence, and negligent entrustment. Now here's why this matters. In Ohio, parents aren't liable for their adult child's negligent actions once that child turns 18, the legal age of majority. At the time of the incident, Jeffrey Dahmer was already 18, already an adult under the law. There's only one exception to this rule, the Ohio Family Car Doctrine, where a parent can be held responsible if their adult child causes harm while using the family vehicle. This completely contradicts the official narrative of Steven Hicks being murdered inside the Dahmer home. If the lawsuit alleged a car accident or vehicular incident, then what really happened that day? Was Steven Hicks killed in a vehicle accident, possibly involving Joyce or another family member? Was the murder confession a cover story to protect someone else? And if that's the case, it would explain why Joyce's attorney shut down her cooperation the moment prosecutors started digging deeper. By early 1992, the Dahmer case had become a global media sensation. Every detail was being scrutinized. Every family member was under intense public pressure. The letter mentions that investigators had been sharing case updates with Joyce and other family members during prior interviews. This was a collaborative relationship, until it wasn't. So was this sudden withdrawal Joyce's decision or her attorney's? Was it driven by legal strategy, fear of self-incrimination, or simply the overwhelming media circus? The letter strongly suggests it was a calculated legal move. Mr. Waters didn't just advise Joyce to skip one interview. He formalized it in writing, creating a paper trail that would protect her from future prosecution. This letter from the Ohio Prosecutor's Office gives us a rare glimpse behind the curtain of the Jeffrey Dahmer investigation. But it also opens up a Pandora's box of questions that have never been properly answered. What happened on January 6, 1992? Was Steven Hicks even the real victim? Why did Joyce's attorney suddenly advise her to stop cooperating? Was she at risk of being implicated in Steven Hicks's death? And why does a wrongful death lawsuit suggest vehicular homicide instead of murder? The official story of Steven Hicks doesn't hold up under scrutiny. The timelines are impossible. The evidence is contradictory. And now we know that Joyce Dahmer's attorney took deliberate steps to distance her from the investigation at a critical moment. Something doesn't add up. And the deeper we dig, the more it becomes clear that the truth about Steven Hicks has been buried for over 3 decades. So here's what I need you to do. If you've been following this investigation, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell because we're not done yet. We have more documents, more evidence, and more revelations coming in the next episodes. Drop a comment below and tell me, do you think Joyce Dahmer knew more than she ever admitted? Share this video with anyone who's interested in the truth about Jeffrey Dahmer. This story isn't over, not by a long shot. I'll see you in part 4, where we're going to examine the physical evidence from the Hicks case and why it was never properly investigated. Thanks for watching. And remember, the truth is always worth finding.